You've probably heard about Form 843. File a claim, get a refund, money back. Sounds simple, right? Let me tell you, not even close. I'm Josh with Best Tax Pro here at Bergen College, helping out with a low-income tax clinic. Most people think that the 843 is a form that you fill out and mail. That's the misconception that can cost them. Now, here's the reality. An 843 refund claim is precisely a legal document. It's an argument backed by documentation, built on IRS law and procedure, and it is not a shortcut. Let's face it, it's work. And most people don't realize that they're signing up for a lot of work until they're halfway through. So a friend who just told you, excited that they found a loophole online, and they're thinking, yeah, I would want to tell them, that's risky. Don't waste your money. So don't go scared. Just wait, slow down. So go in with a little knowledge, because let's face it, I've seen this kind of thing before. The biggest mistake that people are making, they're assuming that the IRS made a simple math error. Well, you filed the return and you're the one who paid the taxes. You think something went wrong? So you file an 843. That's a reasonable assumption, but here's where it breaks down. The IRS didn't just calculate it wrong. You have to prove what went wrong and prove that it matters. Not matters to you, but matters to the IRS. That means providing documents, tax transcripts, understanding exactly what you're looking at, understanding what the IRS sees through their monocular vision. Most people skip that part. They file this form and they just hope and pray. And that's where the 843 dies in its tracks, because they assume this is a solvable problem because, after all, it's common sense. That's a concept that I could respect, but I think you got to take it into the form of this needs to be corrected. So matter of factly, I don't want to sugarcoat this. I don't want to make this any more difficult than it really has to be. There are some questions that you need to ask yourself before you move forward with filing an 843. Four, 5 questions maybe. Do you actually have a claim here? Or you just think you do and you're just going to send in the form and hope for the best? This isn't like the COVID money. It doesn't automatically come. What specific thing are you claiming? And can you articulate it clearly with words, not just guesses? Do you have documentation that supports it? Not, I think I do. Do you actually have it? Have you looked at your actual transcripts? Do you understand what you're showing to the IRS? Because if you don't, they understand it better than you do. Do you know the difference between I think I know what happened and here's what the records show that what happened exactly? Because the IRS doesn't really care what you think. They care what the records show. That's what makes a point for them. Okay, so how do you know if you've got something there to put together for the IRS? I can give you a little guidance. I can show you a flashlight, point it in the right direction. But really, I want to be as generous as I can here. Think of me as the advisor across the table from you, okay? Here's the part where most people get stuck. Your IRS transcript. It's not just a number or a series of numbers. It's a record of every transaction, every assessment, every payment, every adjustment the IRS ever made to your tax situation. It's there on your transcript. If you don't understand what you're looking at, seriously, you can't build a claim. You're pretty much guessing. Oh, not gonna work, not my mind. The IRS can tell that you're guessing. So what you need to know is what was actually assessed. Penalty, some interest, when, by whom, what documents support it, which documents do you have, or maybe the IRS has, that contradicts that. Those are the kinds of things you need to put together. Not just a casual review written on a Post-it note. This kind of thing takes time and focus, and it takes knowing exactly what you're looking for. So just pretending that you know what you need, you might walk away a little embarrassed. And I wouldn't want that. It's this kind of a thing that takes real skill. And if I were you, I'd be a little bit worried, knowing somebody else might be able to help me better. Here's what surprises people. One issue usually isn't just one issue. You look at your return from 2020. You find one problem. Then you notice something else. And then another. Now you're not just filing one claim with one 843. You're filing multiple claims across multiple years. Some of which might conflict with each other. But that's the point when people realize, oh, this has got to be a little bigger than I thought it would be. And by then, they've already spent some time and emotion looking this stuff up. They're already committed. Now, the actual work is just getting started. That's what you usually say when you're in the middle of a project, right? We just got started. And then the oh no happens. This is not where I want to be. So, lovingly, let me give you an idea of how many times I've seen this happen before. TurboTax convinced you that taxes are easy, and maybe yours are, but a lot of people's aren't. One of the things people don't talk about is there's deadlines. You can't file an 843 whenever you want. There are statutes, limits on how far back the IRS can go. And if you miss that little window, you lose the right. Period. Done. Most people don't know the window even exists until they hear it on the news and it's too late. So here's what you also have to think about. Other questions to ask yourself. What year did the problem happen? And when did you discover it? When did you file? And how much time has elapsed? How much time has passed? Because all of that changes what you can actually claim. So I want you to feel some urgency, but useful urgency. I'd hate for you to lose just because you waited. So just don't sit on this. Look, an 843 claim isn't impossible, but it's not a DIY situation either. Let's go over what it requires. Understanding what went wrong. Finding the documentation that proves your position. Reading the transcripts correctly, knowing the law and procedure, timing it right, and building the argument clearly. That's a lot of moving parts. And one mistake costs you the whole claim. Oof. People try it alone all the time. Some people get lucky. Those are the ones they grab for the infomercials. But most don't. The ones who do it right, usually they had help. Someone who's done this before. Someone who knew what to look for. Someone who could say, all the angles they tried, they may have missed on. So let's play for the smart, strong move. I need help. That's what's being strategic. Be grounded. So you're thinking about an 843. Here's what I'd ask yourself. Do I understand my transcripts? Can I articulate the specific problem? Do I have documentation? Do I know the timeline? Do I know the law? If the answers to any one of those is, I'm not really too sure, that's your signal. So this isn't a shortcut. This is work. And it's worth doing it right. So with calm clarity, I want to let you know what to do next. And it's worth it because anything worth doing is worth doing right.